All right, today we're going to make some sourdough bread, and we're going to start off with the things that you need and then also get our starter going. So first of all, just run through the quick items. You need a Dutch oven, not essential, but it does come out better if you have one. You can actually make do with just using a skillet with like a metal bowl on top. You need a bowl like this for proving, and we'll talk about that later on. Don't need to worry about that right now. But for today, you're going to need 100 grams of water, which is 100 milliliters of water. You're going to need 50 grams of white flour and 50 grams of brown flour. And we're going to mix those together, 50-50 and 100 grams of water. And then we're going to start the starter, and then you'll see what happens. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn on our scale here. So I'll bring this up close. Chopstick is good for mixing, and I'll show you why I think a chopstick is one of the better things to use. But we're going to start off with 50 grams of flour. So you're going to weigh that out. So 50 grams, which is about 1/4 cup or so, maybe 1/3 cup. So just go ahead and put that in. So there we got 40 grams. And then we want another 50 grams rather. And then we're going to add another 50 grams of brown flour. And so that, just throw that in. I spilled some there. Normally use a smaller cup for this. And there we go, we're right on there, 100 grams, a little bit more. All right, so we've got 100 grams of mixed flour, 50-50, 50 grams of white, 50 grams of brown. Now we got reset this, and I'm gonna put in 100 grams of water. With baking, it's really important that you do use scales if possible, because it gets a lot more accurate. So there we have your 100 grams of water. I use a chopstick, and you'll see here when I mix this up, you're going to see that we're just going to mix this through. And once we've got this all nice and mixed up, just check the bottom, make sure it's good if you do this in a glass because you can see if you've got any flour left over. But here we have it. So this is actually going to end up being our starter. And so what we need to do now is we're just going to leave this on the counter, and in a few days, you just keep checking in on it. You'll start to see that it'll have champagne bubbles on the side. So it's really good if you can do this in something either glass or something plastic, so you can actually see the bubbles forming. And that's when we'll know that we start to get the naturally occurring yeast, which is in the environment you're in. It normally takes a little quicker if it's a little warmer. It's a little cold here. Good temperature is about 70 degrees, but you can leave it in your house, and over time you'll start to see how this is. So share your photographs of your starter. If you want to know how they're looking, are they ready, and when you can feed them, I'll let you know. But this will take 3 or 4 days before this will actually get to a point where we can start feeding it again. So get your starter going, and let's check in later.